What's up, guys? Good to see you again. Made it to camp and I'm here once again, but just for one night. With that said, it is very hot out and I'm gonna hang out inside in the shade because I am not conditioned for this heat, and it's honestly hotter than I think anything I will encounter this summer. So well, the sun has set and we have come out of the van. We spent all afternoon and the evening just lounging and napping and just trying to deal with this heat we weren't expecting. Well, I don't know what Frank was thinking, but I wasn't expecting the heat. I was worried there might be snow here and I wouldn't be able to get in here. So the fact that there's not snow and that it's warm out is really good for our route we will hopefully take tomorrow. We were last here with all these rocks and pretty mountains in late January, and this was where we were when Frank and I had our last kind of like significant walk together. It was about a mile round trip. We just went over that way to see a tree. So it's pretty sad that he's had that last, but I'm really grateful that I remember so clearly his last walk and I have it on film and it was somewhere so special to us. So yeah, it's been a lot has happened since the last time we were here. So anyways, now here he is. There's little Frankie. So now time has passed and a lot has happened, like I said, and I've adjusted to Frank's loss of mobility. I think he's come around too. He was kind of bummed out for a couple weeks there, but he seems to be in really good spirits. I'm really looking forward to the summer ahead. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, we have a good life together. It's just a little different now that he's older, and I think that's beautiful. And I find it really disgusting how so many people seem to just be okay with discarding a life once it begins to age. And it's so sad. And I think that's a real problem in our society because it's not just pets that we treat like that. We treat our fellow humans like that and just treat them like their life is over as soon as they show signs of aging and mobility loss or, maybe mental acuity. And so, yeah, I'm sticking with him till the end, until he decides. I'll do everything I can for him, and even if I have to sell my van to look after him, I would do that. I just love that so much. I'm so glad they're around this time. I saw them on the drive-in. Good morning, Frank. Hi, good morning. Yeah, nice stretch. You want to come outside, bud? The sun is warm already. It's already warm out, bud. You come on outside. It was a wonderful night. It was so quiet. I slept really well. Had some really interesting dreams. And yeah, it's getting hot already, so I'm skipping the whole morning routine thing. I mean, I don't really have a morning routine. I'm just not doing anything other than packing up. We're going to hit the road and we're just going to make stops along the way. Hopefully today is not a big adventure, but there is the potential for it to turn into a big adventure, but I'm really just hoping it goes smoothly. And finally, we can drive from Oregon into Nevada along this very specific route. Anyways, let's give this a go. I just stopped. There's some cowboys wrangling cows, so I stopped because I didn't want to make it harder for them. But they said I can go through, so yeah. It's pretty cool to see something like this. I'm in very rural Nevada. We have ended up on a bit of a side quest. I was not expecting this to be dry based on the amount of mud and snow through the rest of Nevada, but it's dry. You cannot come out here when it's wet. You will get stuck. It is impassable, according to the signs. I'm not risking it. I think this gets pretty thick, but if you're wondering where we are, here's a clue. That's it. Anyways, this is just a side quest. This is amazing. I have so much fun driving out here, and right now it's actually not as dusty as other times, which is really great. The last time I drove out here, I had white dust in my van. 4 months after, if I'd known it was dry, I would have spent last night out here because it's really cool at sunset and sunrise, but Frank's chilling. Look at that little guy. He's just chilling. There's a truck, and we're gonna go into the mountains. We are going to make our way into Oregon this time. Hopefully the road will let us through. Third try's a charm. Hi, buddy. Good boy. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? Yes, buddy. Oh, yeah, bud. Oh, it's a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, yeah. Are you ready to get back and hit the road? I have stopped by this big old cottonwood for a break, but it is super windy with big gusts and there's a lot of dead branches, so I think it's best not to stay. But this is a really, really fun drive so far. I've only crossed paths with one vehicle since I left town like 2 hours ago, so it's really remote. In that time I would have seen probably like dozens of people on Route 50. And it's really exciting because I have no guarantee I can get through. I don't know for sure if it's snow-free or if there's impassable winter damage. I don't know. I can tell that this part of the road has been graded since winter, and I can tell that one other person since winter has parked right here where I am. And that's it. So it's an adventure. It feels great to be on an actual adventure again. Yeah, because to me, like, there needs to be uncertainty for it to be an adventure. There needs to be a chance of failure, a chance of mishaps. And I think if I just knew I was going to be able to get through and I knew the road was good and it would just be like an off-road drive, like that wouldn't really feel like much of an adventure. But because there's this big element of the unknown and some risk and some danger, like to me that's what feels like a real adventure. And yeah, it's I'm excited to be back here again. I'm really excited. My time on the playa just charged me up, and I'm buzzing and I'm grooving to music, and it's just such a good day so far. So I've pulled off the road for lunch. Not that it matters out here. Aside from the grader, I haven't seen anyone in a long time. Since the ranchers, I think, with the cows. So it's been a few hours. It feels so cool to just be driving through this like really open Nevada high country. And I'm gonna heat this up just a little bit and make some lunch. I'm pretty hungry. And maybe just chill for a bit. I don't plan to get into Oregon today. I want to spend one more night in Nevada. So yeah, just savor being here. Oh, you're so cute. Lunchtime. twofer. There you go, bud. Thanks for cleaning my pot. I am shaking. I am so glad to be on solid ground. Everything was going just fine, and then I got to the high part of the road and I was going to stop and camp along it, and right before the area I wanted to camp I see flood area and my stomach just sinks. And I didn't see any pooling water, so I decided to go for it. And there was like still like snowbanks and it was melting and running all over the road, and it was like mud and deep and ruddy with like water erosion, and I obviously couldn't film any of it because I was driving and I was not willing to stop. But it's the same area I got stuck in the snowdrift. I'm like driving by, I'm like, yeah, that's where I turned around after getting unstuck. Oh boy. So I mean, at least I know the way ahead is gonna be fine, at least until the little town where if I want I can go into California. But it's like a little bit of adventure. I see a little side road ahead, so maybe I'll go try to camp there. I'm pretty done for the day. Oh, I am not a fan of mud. I am not. That was rough. That was scary. I was just I was hoping for the best. Yeah. Hi. I love you, Frank. You're such a good boy. We're gonna spend the night here. This is home for the night. Welcome to our camp. I found a pretty neat spot here, tucked off the main road. And I think they've done a nice job with the place, filling the knot holes with old cans. But it is super, super windy, so we're just hanging out inside in the shade. We're at quite a high elevation, so the sun's also pretty intense out there. Yeah, we're just gonna take it easy. Aside from the wind, it is very quiet. But yeah, it is windy, so that's all we hear. Occasionally a bird. We are tucked off the road enough. I don't think anyone driving by would see us, but I would hear them. So I'm really curious if anyone's gonna drive by today, or if we're really just all out here alone. I still don't know if I'll get through to Oregon. There's two potential routes to take and one into California. So either way, I will not be going back the way I came. So yeah, I guess I'll just find out tomorrow where I end up, which state I end up in. All right, well, hiding from the wind, I have gotten lost in a world of editing, and the sun is getting low on the horizon, so I'm gonna go just for a little walk to stretch my legs and see if I can find where the water on the road is coming from. The sage bush here is taller than me. That's some of the biggest I've ever seen. That was really neat to find that spring and then to find that nice big piece of obsidian. So I just went like up on the little rim behind the spring, and the ground was just absolutely littered with obsidian. And then as I walked away from the edge of the rim, there was no more obsidian, which leads me to believe that people had gathered obsidian, brought it there, and were just hanging out, making tools and weapons somewhere that they had a good vantage point and a source of water. So it's really neat. People are pretty predictable. I mean, there's a cabin and a little corral. So chances are an old-time rancher wouldn't have built that unless there was also a water source. And out in these parts, there's not a lot for water. So where there is water, people have always used them and congregated at them and been drawn to them, I guess, much like myself today. A beautiful, beautiful evening. Just the nicest little pastel sunset, and much warmer than the last time I was here. It was so cold. Oh boy. Just as windy though, just as windy, but much, much warmer. I've just had the absolute best day. Whew. It's very slippery mud. There's still snow that's melting, and the ground is very soft on this road I'm taking back to the cabin, my van. But yeah, just the absolute best day. My face has been hurting from smiling, and it just feels good to have like a nice adventure after waking up somewhere that just feels so much like home, and to be here again. Definitely the more times I come through or try to come through, the more I want to spend more time up here. And it's kind of interesting because it's not somewhere I've ever heard of. I've never heard anyone talk about it. There's really nothing super special about it. There's no state parks, there's no national parks, there's no monuments, there's nothing to draw in the people. And the reason I found it is because the first 6 years of my life on the road, I navigated exclusively with paper maps. Paper maps include county roads. Google would never send me through here unless I was trying to get to somewhere in this region. And so without paper maps, I would have never come across a path through here. So I think that's pretty neat about doing things in a little bit more old school way sometimes. And so it was years ago. I got onto this area, and just something about it just keeps drawing me back. I find it really interesting and in a way familiar. Is this solid? How solid is this? I'm on the snow now. Yeah, it feels like, as much as I want to live somewhere with trees and flowing water someday, I also kind of want to live here. Something about it, I just feel so comfortable. It's like a hole in the ground. Anyways, yeah, I just feel something special in my heart when I come here, and yeah, it's pretty neat. So I'm gonna make my way back to the van, fix up some food for me and Frank, and just spend the night editing. But tomorrow we will find out if I end up in Oregon or California again. So fingers crossed I make it through to Oregon this time. We are going to leave camp now and see about making our way into Oregon. So it's pretty exciting. Kind of sad to leave Nevada. I really wanted to spend like 3-4 weeks in Nevada, but I changed my plan. So I get a week, and it's been a wonderful week. So let's see if we can end up in Oregon finally. The only people out here really, for the most part, are people who have business out here. I don't really have business out here aside from the business of having a good time, but Oh, there's a sign now. Anyways.
Turn right onto County Road 34 North, Nevada 8A East.
That's where we're going. As someone who is particularly fond of trees and flowing water, I've been trying to find the words to explain to someone why I like driving through these open places so much. And part of the reason I've come to figure out is that the landscape moves slower as you drive by it. It's far away. It doesn't change quickly around each corner. You have time to take it all in. I like to savor the landscape around me, which is why I'm so fond of walking. Things move at a speed I can process it, and I think that's sometimes why I find driving so stressful. The Code of the West. An open door in the desert wide invites all strangers to come inside. Build a fire and get a good night's rest, but don't forget the Code of the West. Leave the cabin clean and the wood piled high for the next desert stranger who happens by. This is pretty neat. I'm gonna stop here for lunch. It's just a bit off the main road, which is down there. So there's a view and there happens to be internet, which is so strange. But I signed the logbook inside and somebody had come here shortly after I tried to pass through to Nevada, but nobody's been here since. And I can tell from the track in that there was no tire tracks since the snow melted. So yeah. Gonna have some lunch. I'm hungry. I skipped breakfast, so yeah. But the view is very nice.
Welcome to Oregon.
Well, I'm pretty tired of driving at this point. My back is in so much pain. I did not feel like driving, but I made it to the end of County Road 34. Completely meaningless achievement. I am in Oregon now. I'm in Oregon. And I still have about 20 miles of dirt road before I hit pavement. So yeah, it was an amazing week driving through Nevada. Really memorable. As I've been driving, I've been thinking about all the different things that have happened and events, and yeah, it just kind of blows my mind, like how much can happen in a week, how much I saw crossing Nevada. I definitely took one of the longer routes to get through Nevada. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a bit of Nevada through my eyes. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Huge thank you to patrons, and we'll see you in the next one.